And as I dove into the weeds, I found one of the biggest issues was the fact that the committee that was picking the art, first of all, 10 out of the 10 people were artists. And when they were looking at it, they're going, well, Johnny Jew from New York, he's the best artist, so we're going to use him and not even look at it. So we tried.
Hello, everyone. That's welcome on Facebook Live, youtube.com, Kevin Olenick, Spreaker.com, Kevole, Soundcloud.com, Kevole. The title of this video is Ward a Mess. Get it? Ward a Mess. Ward a Mess. Thank you. Try the veal. Here all week. Today has been a very interesting day in Calgary, and I think this has made news in BC. This has made news across Canada. It's becoming a national news story. The clip that I just played for you, hopefully you heard it. If you're on the podcast, you certainly will hear it, is the issue of the forum last night where a Calgary councillor named Ward Sutherland said apparently came across with a comment called something called Johnny Jew. Now, he has disputed this, claiming that he did. That's not what he said. He said something else, and there's been a debate of what exactly he said. And we're going to get into this, and why we're talking about it, of course. I mean, I guess we've had so many terms, and everyone else has made a lot of claim. I mean, someone wondered if it was JJ Chu, Shu, Lu. Someone actually said Delgeist, which was not the case. Fu, Mu, Lu. It's kind of like, remember when you were a kid and you said a word that you shouldn't have, and you kind of knew it, and then an adult went up and said, well, this happened to me. I said a word that I shouldn't have, and the adult came to me and said, what did you say? I said truck. I don't know what you heard, but I said truck. I said truck. Not what you thought I said. It was truck. I said truck. I said truck. You're not punishing me I will not go to the corner because I said truck. That's what that felt like today. And it would be one thing if the guy had kind of left this alone, but it's one thing to kind of dig your own hole. It happens. I mean, I don't know Ward Sutherland. I really haven't met him. Don't know him. But I have said some really dumb stuff. How many people here have said dumb stuff? We've all probably have said some really dumb stuff. And before I go on here, this is worse than dumb stuff because this is particularly offensive. Not one, but I'm going to actually bring up a second one. There's one everybody's talking about, but there's one that nobody else. A couple of people have noted, but haven't really talked about it enough. And especially since this last weekend in Calgary, there has been a huge controversy. And even at the Sprawl Mayor debate, which I did a review on, so go check that out, reviewing the candidates. Check that out if you want. There was a big debate and argument about the tone of racism in the mayor election. And some are feeling that it's there, and some are not feeling that it's there. But in light of this, you would just think a little bit, just a little bit, that you would choose your words a little bit more carefully than what Ward Sutherland did. But nope. Nope. Anyway, so let's first talk about, because the obvious part, and Jason Markusoff on Twitter kind of pointed this out, and it's like, I was particularly offended by this, and the fact that it's pretty clear to me in the video what he said. I mean, I have 2 ears. I listened to it a number of different times. It's clear what he said to me. I heard Jew. I heard Johnny Jew. I'm sorry for saying that, but that's what I heard. Not what yeah. The worst part about this, the first thing, so that one thing, that's obviously an offensive reference. But in this context of the video and what he was talking about in this public forum, and I want to bring this up because it's important, because no, as I said, not really a lot of people brought this up, but I want to bring this up. I heard someone else bring this up, but too, so good. This was in the context of the debate around public art, and is this not one of the most ignorant things that you could say about artists? It's like a completely demeaning statement to artists. It's completely ignorant to them too. Well, they don't even look at the art. They just heard it was some guy and it's from New York and they put it up. That's what I found out. That's what my digging through the table. Like that's like, that's like completely ignorant and completely offending artists again. And I've already talked about this. I think the city in Calgary has been completely ignorant towards arts in a lot of ways. Getting better maybe, but still quite ignorant. And this was another example of that. But Ward went worse. I want to read you the statement that he said he said here. I need to find it here. Give me a second. It is here. Actually, it's on my Facebook, so I will pull here. I'm going to pull this up here. And he's continuing to say, I said chew. That has been his complete comment. But I want to read the statement here as I pull this up. And because I think we need to pick this apart a little bit. Because there's a way to do this, and there's a way not to do this. And, you know, this is not the way to do it. I'm not a communications officer. I've not been hired to do communications for you. I'm not necessarily saying that you should hire me as a communications person. But I want to read this to you because if this was me, I would not recommend that you send this out. I'm going to read this. This is a direct quote. During our discussion about public art at the forum, I referenced a famous New York designer with the last name of Chu. By the way, he later went on and said that this was a Sex and the City reference. Anyway, and I'm giving that look because I don't know what the heck he's talking about. Or he might, it feels like he changed his tone about 4 times through the day. The point I was hoping to drive home was the importance of utilizing local artists rather than those from abroad. I encourage anyone with questions to watch the video of the forum that is now online or talk to your community members that were at the forum and heard it from themselves. As you can see in the video, no one made any reaction after my comment. No one at the forum, including the journalist who was present at the debate seated in the front row, has made accusations over my comments. If I would have said something racist, there would have been an immediate response. He goes on. It is unfortunate that one of my fellow Ward 1 candidates has decided to create a media story out of something that is simply not true. This candidate is the only one who has resorted to negative campaigning. I believe the people of Ward 1 know my priorities and know my track record around respecting all people no matter their background or ethnicity. I condemn racism. And I am shocked that this is even a conversation we are having. I am also disappointed that local media has not contacted me directly for my side of the story before going to print. I will continue to run a positive campaign as we approach Election Day on October 16th. This is simply a non-story from a candidate trying to get attention in the final days of the race. My attention will continue to be Ward 1 residents as I door knock and chat with community members all weekend. Okay. Wow. Let's just break this down. And by the way, I actually heard him. He's been on interviews as I had been following the story, and he was on interviews today at a couple of places. And I'm using this as part of my commentary for what I'm hearing. So what I'm hearing Ward Sutherland basically say in this statement is, it's not your fault that you can't, we're really dependent on the angle that you're at. So this sounds like a Hockey Night in Canada reference. Stop it right here. If you listened from the left, it would have been a bit of, you clearly would have heard me say chew, but you probably heard from here and then over. So it's obviously the problem with your hearing. That's what the first one is. The second is we're going to blame the media. Okay, so it's the media's fault for bringing this up. Okay. And the third one is you're blaming a candidate. And nowhere in this is he's like, you know what? I screwed up. Just like say it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the complete misunderstanding. I really wasn't trying to say, just like fess up that you screwed up. Because you screwed up. That's all you needed to do. Instead, he blamed local media, candidates, our hearing, and the forum. Now let me also address that too, because that's been a common defense of everyone on this, or not everyone, but people that have been defending have been saying this too. Well, if it was a racist comment, we all would have been outraged. Okay, so the amount of times that there is someone in a social casual conversation that says something off color and you respond to it is, Lots of times it's with awkward or unsure silence. In situations that I've been in, I've seen that happen. I even admit that probably we should stand up and say something, but some people just don't know what to say. So I don't think or assume that just because no one said anything that it wasn't an offensive comment or people deemed it offensive. It's still, bottom line is, what we heard is what we heard. And just own it. Own it that you said something wrong. And even on the interviews, he's like, I didn't say, it's your hearing. That's the thing. The second thing is, he hasn't even apologized to the Jewish community here. I didn't hear an apology there. Again, all in this tone that people are talking about in this campaign that I'm sitting here in Richmond, which, by the way, I should bring this up too. Certainly, we deal with this issue all the time. There's casual racism happens everywhere. To say that this doesn't happen is completely not true, because we know it does. And I made that point. It happens. I don't think we want to admit it, and I think we're often a little bit more silent than we should be about that. Pointing me too. But it happens. It's said. So he hasn't apologized to that community yet. And there are people that, especially Jason Markusoff, who has said something, and I think others will eventually say something. And third, why is no one else? Where's council on this? Why? Someone tweeted that too. I haven't heard anything from anybody else kind of clarifying or challenging this. It's all been kind of like just from the social media and from social media influencers. I am not one. But so this was, it wasn't, to me, in conclusion, I guess if I conclude this, it was worse not only what he said was bad, it was how he handled it that made it worse. If he just would have apologized, if he just would have said, look, I'm sorry, I think we would have been in a different position. But he went this way. And I have to wonder if he's in trouble for Monday. Although a very consistent counselor that has won a few times. So what do you think? Comment about what you heard today. Your comments below. Comment on Facebook Live. Comment YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at KEVOLE. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And Spreaker.com, Soundcloud.com, KEVOLE for more. But we'll get things before we'll get to the comments, and then I'm going to plug some stuff. Okay. No one comments. Looking for comments? No comments? That's fine. Couple quick things. We will be bringing back, I have talked to my friend Jennifer, and we are bringing back the Riverdale podcast. Just not sure what day we will be doing it. Probably some point this weekend. Working also on Saturday Stories. Working on a guest for that. And keep an eye out also for my late night newscasts of what's going on in Vancouver around the world that I post on Spreaker and Soundcloud and on Facebook. Anyway, that's my rant. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. Bye for now.